of the Congress today, this morning. And I give the floor to our Secretary General for a roll call.
Thank you, President. Good morning, all delegates. So I'll try to be as quickly as possible, since I know who was here yesterday and who wasn't. It's good to be quicker. Albania, Algeria, Albania. No, Albania, not Armenia. You're too soon. Algeria, Argentina, Armenia, Australia, Azerbaijan, Bahamas, Bangladesh, Barbados, Belgium, Benin, Bermuda, Bhutan, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Belarus, Bolivia, Brazil, Bulgaria, Central African Republic, Cambodia, Canada, Chad, Chile, China, Ivory Coast, welcome, Cameroon, Congo, Colombia, Comor Islands, no, Costa Rica, yes, Croatia, Cuba, Canada, no? Cyprus, yes. Czech Republic, yes. Denmark, Dominicana, Ecuador, yes. Egypt, yes. El Salvador, it's a proxy, I believe. El Salvador, yes. Spain, Estonia, Fiji, Finland, Falkland Islands, Tahiti, France, Faroe Islands, Gabon, R3GB, Georgia, yes, Germany, Ghana, Greece, no, Greece not here yet, Guatemala, Guinea, Guyana was proxy, yes, Haiti, Hong Kong, Honduras, yeah, Hungary, Indonesia, India, Islamic Republic of Iran, Ireland, yes, Iraq, Iceland, yeah, Israel, Virgin Islands, Italy, Japan, Kazakhstan, Kenya, Macedonia, I think, was a proxy, yes. Kyrgyzstan, yes. Kiribati, Korea, Kosovo, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Laos, Latvia, okay. Libya, Liberia, Lebanon, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Macau, Morocco, Malaysia, Malawi, welcome, Moldova, Mexico, Mongolia, former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, Mali, Malta, Montenegro, Monaco, Mauritius, yes, Myanmar, Namibia, yes, Nicaragua, Netherlands, Nepal, Norfolk Islands, Nigeria, Niger, Norway.
Niger, yes.
Niger, okay, sorry. Niger's, no. Is it proxy? Okay, sorry. Norway,
Yes.
New Zealand, Pakistan, Panama, Paraguay, Peru, Paraguay, okay. Philippines, yes, Philippines, here, yeah. Palau, Papua New Guinea, Poland, Portugal, not here. Okay. Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yes. Puerto Rico, Qatar, Romania, South Africa, yes, yeah, I see him. Russia, Rwanda, Samoa, Senegal, Singapore, Sierra Leone, Slovenia, San Marino, Somalia, Serbia, Sri Lanka, Sudan, Switzerland, yes, Suriname, Slovakia, Sweden, Tonga, Thailand, Tajikistan, yes. Togo is excluded. Taipei, Chinese Taipei, yes. Trinidad and Tobago, Tunisia, Turkey, United Arab Emirates, Uganda. Haven't seen Uganda yet. No. Ukraine, Uruguay, United States of America, Uzbekistan, Vanuatu, Venezuela, Vietnam, and Zimbabwe. How much you have? Okay, it seems we have 93 voting delegates present at the start of the session. This is the number that is important for the votes for the elections this morning. If a delegate leaves, it still stays 93 under our constitution. If a delegate arrives during the election, it could go higher, but if an election is taking place, we will not count it as part of that election. He or she will have to wait until the vote actually has finished. So 93 is meaning we need 47, if my counting is still correct, to be elected. So we need 47 votes to be elected. Now, since our Greek scrutineer is absent for the moment, we've asked a delegate from Namibia to act as scrutineer together with Jim Laven. And of course, Jim will not participate when there is a vote, including Australia. Is that okay for everyone that our Namibian colleague will replace Evelyn for the moment? That seems to be the case. Okay.
I give the floor.
Yes, we now give the floor to Rolf Lind.
He will explain something. Thank you, Rolf.
Okay, thank you. This morning we had some challenge with the buses at Belosky. The reason was that the bus company forgot to send the buses. It was a human mistake, so we have forgiven them, but put some goodwill in our account. So that's very good. I hope that you all got here in time. You got your coffee, and of course apologize for any inconvenience this had made cause. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lin. Again, floor is yours.
Thank you, President. Just some explanations before we start the voting. The first thing that I would like to ask everyone, it was already in the letter that we sent last week, is during Congress, unless instructed otherwise, please remain at your seats, because we need to get this done as quickly as possible. And we know that you all want to congratulate the ones that won a position, but for this we have an extensive coffee break, and that is the perfect moment to do this. So we ask everyone, and that includes my executive board, to stay on site and don't move during the elections, so we make sure that it will go quickly and smoothly. Okay, now in terms of the election, we have, as any good organization, a backup if there is an issue not working this morning, and normally when you have a backup you don't need it. So I will not explain the backup procedure for the moment. We have one in case we have an issue, but we expect it to work. It might take a little bit longer than usual, but the system should work. So we will have a test vote in a moment. And we have now 94. So that means we need now 48 to be elected. Greece has arrived. And as soon as Evelyn is ready, we'll ask her to go to join the colleague from Namibia, which will help you as well. And then, Jim, you can stay there. We have 2 persons, and that should be enough as such. So, you have all received the voting delegates and the ones with the proxy 1 or 2 machines. Is this correct? Seems to be the case. We will do a test vote, And I have no idea what they came up with today. It's not going to be on the weather as far as I understand. So we'll see what comes up. It's a surprise for me as well. Well, oh, it's the favorite colors. And how many colors do we expect them to choose? Can we have a clarification on that? How many colors? 2 colors? 2 colors. So you're choosing for 2 colors. So you can only select 2. If you try to select 3, it will not work. If you want to remove a color, you have to click on it again, and then you can choose another color. Has everyone been able to click on the colors and on the screen? Is it working for you? It seems to be working. Okay, good. Has everyone been able to vote? There is still an issue there. Tajikistan or Turkey, which is the problem? It seems to be okay. Anyone else? I don't see any hands going up. Okay. So we close the vote. And I'm curious which of the 2 votes, which of the 2 colors will be. Well, it seems that you prefer the 8 and the 7 ring on the target than the yellow. So this is, I suppose, the reason why you're in the hole and not on the shooting field the next week. It's windy, yes, there is some wind, yes. Okay, so I think it works. Do you want us to do a second vote? Yes, let's do a second vote just to make sure we are all happy. Okay. The favorite fruits of the World Archery Congress. And there is quite a lot. And how many we need to select? 3. So you can select up to 3. It's not mandatory to put 3, but we ask you up to 3. Mauritius, Carlos, if you can go to, it's okay? Okay. It takes a little bit more time than usual. It's refreshing to make sure you're connected, so. Okay, I don't see any hands going up, so I assume it is working okay. So if Thomas can give me a sign. 90, so 3 people, I see 93. So everyone has expressed its vote. No, one missing, one missing. Okay, we have 94 votes, so everyone has voted. So let's see what are the favorite fruits. Close the vote, please.
Taken in the system.
Okay, we'll do another one. Okay. Exactly. So we'll close this vote and we'll open a new vote. Check. Actually, it seems that I'm getting too old and I can't count anymore. I get to 98, and it seems there is 98 machines in the hall. So actually, it is 98. That is correct. So we can show the voting of our fruits. It seems that we have fruit selection. Can we show?
Showing to the scrutineer because they want to be sure that someone they get information.
Okay, so they redid the vote, so they reopened the vote. So at the moment it seems to be that 74 have voted. So if you can vote again on the fruits. We're closing it now. Okay, it seems that the Apple industry, and sorry, we need to show the number of votes, not the percentage. So in the fruit industry, they are good in variation because no one got the majority, but we will show the number of votes as such on the next election. Don for Juan Carlos, can you confirm that we show the number of votes? So, okay. So with 98, you need 49 votes. 50, you're right. Oh, I'm not awake yet. You need 50, so there is no one elected for the fruits. So there is a lot of variation in the fruit industry. Lucky for them. Can we go ahead with the first vote for the scrutineers? It's okay? Yes? Okay. So we will go to the elections. The first election is for first vice president. This is an election where we will ask you, there is one candidate for the position. We will ask you to vote yes, no, or abstain. And that's your choice. You don't have to express your vote, but we encourage you to express your vote. You have the three options, yes, no, or abstention. It is as for all other positions. You need to have 50 votes to be elected. If for any reason we don't reach the 50 votes on the first round, we will go for a second round. In that case, the person, if it doesn't reach the 50 votes, will not be elected and the position stays vacant for 2 years. I ask the staff to stay in the background, and unless called, Juan Carlos, unless called, you don't approach the voting delegates, okay? So, the vote is open. So, we ask to open the vote. Okay, we have to send the question. The question has been sent. Okay. Okay, is anybody having a problem? If so, anyone else having a problem? Okay, Armenia, we're working on it, that's done. Anyone else having a problem? We're at 97 votes, so how can we be at 98? We are at 98, okay? We can close. No, we have 98. No. Yeah, but we cannot have 99. Can we check which NOCs have voted? No, because it's blocking on the NOC code. So there must be another NOC. Can I have an update, please?
I don't know why we have 99 countries, 99 tablets voting, and no one has been repeated. Possible Armenia vote 2 times, so it's not only one
Okay,
vote.
it is impossible that we have someone voting 2 times because the system would block it. We have 99 NOC codes voting, so we need to check. So can we?
The only possible reason is that someone has looked after the vote, and we have one more tablet now. The only possible reason.
So I'm afraid we will have to do a roll call again to make sure we are on the number of votes. Okay? I'm very sorry about that, but we have to make sure that the voting is correct. What I will do is I will do a roll call of the countries that I think are here. If at a certain moment a country is not in the ones I called, you raise your hand after I call the countries, okay? Okay? Algeria, Argentina, Armenia, Australia, Austria, Azerbaijan, Bahamas, Bangladesh, Barbados, Belgium, Bhutan, Belarus, Brazil, Bulgaria, Canada, Chile, China, Ivory Coast, Colombia, Costa Rica, Croatia, Cuba, Cyprus, yes, Czech Republic, Denmark, Ecuador, Egypt, El Salvador, Spain, Estonia, Finland, Tahiti, France, Faroe Islands, Great Britain, Georgia, Germany, Guatemala, and I missed Greece, yes. Guyana. Guyana? Any proxy to Guyana?
Yes, yes.
Okay, sorry. Honduras. Hungary. India. Islamic Republic of Iran. Ireland. Iceland. Israel. Virgin Islands. Italy. Japan. Kazakhstan. Kenya. Kenya? Okay. Kyrgyzstan. Korea. Kosovo. Saudi Arabia. Kuwait. Latvia. Lithuania. Luxembourg. We're at 60. Morocco. Malaysia. Malawi. Moldova. Mongolia. Mauritius. Namibia. Netherlands. Netherlands, yes. Niger. Norway. New Zealand. Paraguay. Peru. Philippines. Poland. Portugal. Is Portugal here? No? Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Puerto Rico. Qatar. Romania. South Africa. Russia. Singapore. Slovenia. Serbia. Sudan. Switzerland. Slovakia. Sweden. Tonga. Thailand. We had 90. Tajikistan. Chinese Taipei. Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago, okay. Turkey. United Arab Emirates. Uganda is here? No. Ukraine. Uruguay. United States of America. Uzbekistan. I have good news. We have 99 voting delegates. Sorry?
One has not signed. That will be the official habit.
Okay, it seems that one voting delegate didn't sign, didn't give back then his voting machine, and that's the reason why there is a difference in the numbers of tablets that were distributed this morning and that are in the room. So please, next time, give back your voting machine in the morning. Is Mr. Sheratz? Yeah? Okay. Okay. So you can have a discussion with Mr. Sherat during the coffee break. Okay. We want the number of votes, not the percentage, please. Okay, so we have 95 votes. Okay, so we have Mr. Mario Scarciala re-elected as first vice president after a very tense moment of waiting. So there was 95 votes in favor, 1 no, and the others were abstentions. Okay, we can go now to the second vote, which should be easier, I hope, which is the same principle. It's a yes, no, and abstention vote. We have one candidate for the vice president position. It's Mr. Philippe Bouclet of France. So can we open the vote, please? No, it's not yet open, but... Okay, so as before, yes, no, and abstention. So if there is an issue, you can call the staff. If not, the staff stays in the background and doesn't look what people are doing. Anyone has an issue? If so, raise your hand. No pictures of the election, sorry. No pictures of election. There is an issue here with Peru. How many? So we have one more delegate that has arrived, which is Uganda, if I'm correctly informed. Yes. So we are now at 100. However, that it will only participate in the next vote. So for this vote, it still stays 50 as the required number. For the next vote, it will go to 51. Is okay now? We will close the vote now. Okay, so Mr. Philippe Bouclet is elected. 90 votes in favor, 5 against, and 4 abstentions. We will now go to the executive board. Of course, Mr. Philippe Bouclet being elected as vice president, he will no longer be on the candidate list. We also had a withdrawal from Professor Ohm yesterday, so the candidate list will be shown in a second without these 2 persons being on the list. So I repeat, we have Uganda as 100 voting member, which means the majority required will be 51. We have 4 positions. And I will name the positions. I will inform you on the names in alphabetical order. Mr. Ibrahim Aldo Sadi from Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Mr. Jörg Brokamp of Germany, Ms. Hilda Gibson from Great Britain, Mr. Kotaro Hata from Japan, Ms. Eva Thesen of Norway, and Mr. Gao Zidan of China. You have to select 4 people, up to 4 people in this list. You can select also 1, 2, 3. However, we suggest you select 4. The vote is open. If anybody has an issue, please raise your hand. If not, the staff stays in the back. There is an issue for Malawi, it seems. Anyone else having an issue? What's the latest?
83.
So we have 83 people that have expressed a vote. We're at 90. $95. If you don't have a problem, I'm going to close the vote. So we're closing the vote. Okay, we have the 4 executive board members elected. Elected Ms. Eva Thesen from Norway with 82 votes. Elected Mr. Jörg Brokamp from Germany with 76 votes. Mr. Kotaro Hata from Japan with 73 votes. And Mr. Gao Zidan from China with 58 votes. Congratulations. We will go now to the next election, which is the Board of Justice and Ethics, a very popular choice, as you can see. Again, in alphabetical order, Mr. John Chaplin, Mr. Jean-Michel Clairoy, Ms. Wenjing Dong, Ms. Kim Jin-ho, Mr. Klaus Lindau, Mr. Estanislao Ozores Soler, Mr. Mohamed Ali Sojai, Mr. Martin Swanson, and Mr. Mohamed Fakei. The vote is open, and you are expected to select 5 people. 5 people are in the Board of Justice and Ethics, so you can put in up to 5 names. And the vote is open. We are at 54. We understand this is the most complicated because you have to select 5 positions. An issue with Italy. Someone can help Italy. We are at 80. We had 92. Has anybody got an issue? It doesn't seem to be the case. 95. I'm going to close the vote. We have the 5 members elected. The 5 members elected are Mr. John Chaplin from Australia, 73, Mr. Martin Swanson from the United States, 71, Mr. Estanislao Ozores Soler from Argentina, 63, Mr. Jean-Michel Clairoy from France, 59, and Mr. Mohamed Ali Sojai from Islamic Republic of Iran with 57. Congratulations. Okay, now we will go to the different committees. So the next committee up for election is the Constitution and Rules Committee. We have 4 candidates for 3 positions: Mr. Giuseppe Cinirelli, Ms. Kim Soon-young, Mr. Mark Miller, and Mr. Liang Wang. The vote is open, and we ask you to select up to 3 people. We are at 53. $87. Anyone has a problem? If so, raise your hand. We are at 94. I'm going to close the vote, so if there's any issue, please indicate. Doesn't seem to be the case. You can close the vote. And we have an election for 3 members. Mr. Giuseppe Cinerella with 91 votes, Mr. Mark Miller with 82 votes, and Ms. Kim Sun-young with 62 votes. Congratulations. Yes, you can shake hands to your neighbors, as long as you don't move in the hall, Mr. Paulsen. Okay, we now go to the next committee. Field and 3D Committee. We have 5 candidates: Mr. Kenneth Alund, Ms. Hannah Brown, Ms. Catherine Pellen, Mr. Helmut Pearl, and as far as I know, Mr. Mohammed Ali Sojai was elected from the Board of Justice, so he should be removed from the list. So don't vote anything now. We are going to remove Mr. Mohammed Ali Sojai from the list. There will be 4 candidates for 3 positions. Okay, so this is the list for elections. So I repeat the 4 names: Mr. Kenneth Alund, Ms. Hannah Brown, Ms. Catherine Pellen, and Mr. Helmut Pearl. There is 4 candidates for 3 positions. We are requested to select up to 3 positions. There is an issue with China here. We had 81 votes. We had 95. We just await the issue with China to be resolved here. Okay, what's the status? 98. We're just waiting. China, you've been able to vote? Okay, it seems that China has been able to vote. We are 99, so close the vote. And we have 3 candidates elected: Mr. Kenneth Allen, 90 votes, Ms. Hannah Brown, 88 votes, and Ms. Catherine Pellen, 80 votes. Congratulations. We'll now go to the next committee, which is, as far as I know, the Judge Committee. Judges Committee, we have 5 candidates: Mr. Dion Bouhagiar, Mr. Sergio Font, Ms. Jinan Koo, Mr. Morten Wilman, and Mr. John Martens. And we again ask you to vote for 3 candidates. We had 76. Anyone else has any issue? We're at 90. We will await Mauritius as well. We're at 96. I don't see anybody. There is still Mauritius being resolved. So we wait till Mauritius is resolved. Okay, we can close the vote. And we have 3 members elected. Mr. Sergio Font from Cuba, 84. Mr. Morten Wilman, 78. Mr. Dion Buhagiar, 67. These are the 3 elected members of the Judge Committee. Congratulations. We now go to the next vote, which is the Coaches Committee. We have 4 candidates. Mr. Kenneth Behrman, Mr. Okyo Moon, Mr. Kisik Lee, and Mr. Witse van Alten. And we have 3 people to elect. The vote is open. We're at 73. Anyone has an issue? We're at 90. Anyone has an issue? Please raise your hand. 95. We're at 95. 97. We're going to close the vote. We're okay. Everyone has expressed their vote. Okay, being elected are Mr. Kisik Lee, Mr. Witse van Alten, and Mr. Okyo Moon. Congratulations. We now go to the next, and this is technical committee. It should be yes, no. It's not like this. It should be yes, no, so don't express your vote yes yet. This should be changed to a yes, no vote, because it's 1 candidate for 1 position. So a little bit of patience, we'll put the vote correct. So technical committee, it's for Ms. Susan Womersley. It's yes, no, or abstention. So the vote is open for Ms. Susan Womersley for a 2-year term for the technical committee. So I repeat, the vote is for technical committee for Susan Womersley for a 2-year term. And you can vote yes, no, or abstain. Seems to be an issue with one of the tablets. Okay, seems to be fixed. What's the status? Okay, that seems to have been fixed, so we can close the vote, last vote. Please show the results. "93 in favor of Susan Womersley staying as member of the technical committee." So, Mr. President, I'm very happy to report that the elections are finished, and I thank our voting crew for all the hard work, because they worked till 1:30 this morning to make sure it was working this morning.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Tom. We finished the most important part of the Congress on time, exactly on time. Again, thank you very much for your cooperation. Now we will have a coffee break for half an hour. I think this is enough time for congratulations each other. Thank you. Let's meet exactly at 10:30, please.
Green, red, light.
agenda item 16, report on cooperation with other organizations. I give the floor again our Secretary General.
Thank you, President. I'll give a brief report on most of the corporations, and then we'll have a small presentation by the Archery Trade Association. The first one, and it's actually not on your list because when we made the agenda, we weren't sure we had a lot to report on, but a meeting took place during my visit in Korea during the Universiades with the International School Sport Federation. And the International School Sport Federation took contact with us, and they want to absolutely, I would say, start again the relationship we had with them, because we had actually we signed a memorandum of understanding with them many years ago, and we were supposed to be on the Gymnasiade in, if I'm not mistaken, it was in Qatar, and then nothing happened. And many of the things were explained by the fact that they changed leadership, and also, as far as I understand, one of their officials had many health problems, and the organization had some serious challenges. In the meantime, they have re-elected a president and a secretary general. I met with them, and in Guangzhou, we also had a brief meeting between Juan Carlos and the secretary general as such. And out of that meeting came that they would like to have archery as a demonstration sport at the next Gymnasiade in Turkey, in Trabzon. And that will take place next year. So I don't know, can I have the presentation? So I think it's important that we show a little bit what is the International School Sport Federation. So it's about school sport up to 18 years old. It's governed by the International School Sport Federation. Go to the next page, please. So it's existing since 1972. We will send you this presentation afterwards as well. They have 20, what you could say, mandatory sports, but they really would like to add archery to this. They have 75 member countries. In what is interesting is that, for instance, in America, they are not having a member, but they also said that if there is no member, they can find solutions. They have activities, like you see, in most of the world. Go to the next one, please. This is some information on what they have done. There is also a foundation. And Gymnasiade is really like Universiade for university students. So what we discussed with them is that we should try to get at least 10 countries participate in this demonstration next year. The program will be similar than for the Youth Olympics. So we will have individual boys, girls, up to 17 years, so the same age range as for the Youth Olympics, but the number of entries have to be fixed. It could be up to 5 kids per country, and then there will also be a mixed team competition, which they also plan to do mixed between countries. So that is what is planned. They have talked with the organizers in Trabzon. There is an initial approval that they want to do archery. And so we ask you, for the ones that already have contact with your International School Sport Federation, to get in touch with them and see how you can work with them. The period is in mid-July next year. I know next year there is Olympic Games, it's a very busy year, but it's around the 13th of July. We'll give you the details and so on, but really we encourage you to contact your National School Sport Federation if it exists. If it doesn't exist, contact us and we will see how some of the kids can participate in this event. Okay, That's for the International School Sport Federation. Then I go to the next one, which is Commonwealth Games. We are continuing to try to get archery on the Commonwealth Games. We still have great souvenirs of the Commonwealth Games in Delhi, where the archery event was very successful. And we hope that we can get back on the program in the future. We also made it very clear to the Commonwealth Games Federation that their way of electing sports has to change. You cannot just make it part of the bid campaign, because it's basically, because of the structure of the Commonwealth Games Federation, many small islands deciding what is the sports program, and it's not based on any criteria of cost, television impact, popularity of the sport or anything. It's just a campaigning tool. And for instance, if we look at what happened for the next edition, which will be in Australia, the bid committee told me very clear, if you can deliver 15 votes from the Caribbean and another 10 votes from Africa, we'll put you on. If you can't, we'll choose another sport. This is not a way of organizing a sports program. The same happened with the next one, where there was initially a Canadian bid and there was Durban, and the Canadian bid agreed to put archery on the program. We had a confirmation on that, and then unfortunately Durban and Selwyn, he's still depressed as a result, decided not to put the sport on the program. So there's not a lot we can do. We are working with the Commonwealth Games Federation to see if the mechanism can be changed, because with this we can't really plan for anything. We are very lucky to have on the Youth Games this year in Samoa, we have archery included, but it's a very, very small competition. It's, yes? Can I have the floor? The microphone. Susan. Susan is the chair of our ad hoc committee on the Commonwealth Games.
Yes, with the Youth Commonwealth Games in Samoa later this year, I would ask all member associations to support this event, even if you weren't able to send athletes to the competition itself due to regulations in your own Commonwealth Games associations. If you weren't able, it might help if you expressed your disappointment to your Commonwealth Games Association that you weren't able to send archers to this event. Promote it in your own countries, even if people can watch it. The more we can show to the Commonwealth Games Federation that we as archery are interested in participating and in watching and in promoting archery within the Commonwealth Games, then that certainly could be helpful. Thank you.
Okay, we have also another member of the committee, Carol Hicks.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm the TD for the Games in Samoa. We had a number of countries who initially indicated they would enter archery and then pulled out at the last moment. So we've got a very small number of archers competing. However, the total number of athletes that are permitted at this Games are 1,000, and we've still got about 50 spare places. So the Commonwealth Games organizer, Youth Commonwealth Games organisers, are contacting Commonwealth Games associations to see if they wish to add some extra athletes over and above the quota they were originally given. And I have the absolute assurance of the chairman of the organising committee that they will be encouraged to add archery to their list if they haven't already done so.
Thank you, Carol, for this update. There hasn't been a meeting, as far as I understand, 2 days ago of the committee as such, and there will be another meeting tomorrow. So we keep on pushing. It's not finished as such, and we also hope that the Commonwealth Championships continue to be held in the different continents. Then the next one is presentation cooperation with the IFAA, International Field Archery Association. That will be a very short report because there has been really no further activity as such between the two organizations. From time to time we exchange emails. We have one point of cooperation for 2017 where in the Master Games that will be held in New Zealand, there will be a combined field round, a World Archery round marked, and then an IFA marked round as well. And there will be a combined ranking for that event. Then I go on to the next point, the cooperation with FISU, the International Sports University Federation. I can only say that it has been very good. We both, me and Juan Carlos, attended the Universiade in Korea, in Gwangju. We had live television for 3 days. We had very exciting matches. We had a world record being shot by Kibo Bay and by the Korean team. And it took us a lot of time to explain to the journalists that this was a world record and not a world university record. Yes, it can happen that at the Universiades, and it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was a 11-year-old record that was broken by Kibo Bay, which was a 70-meter ranking round with 686 points, if I'm not mistaken. So, and also what was very nice in this event was that most of the volunteers at the venue were former medalists and at Olympic, Asian Games, and World Championship level, and it was a very great honor for us to see so many champions working at our event. So congratulations again to the Korean Federation as well for this excellent event. Presentation cooperation with Global Sport Development. Our cooperation is continuing very well. Global Sport Development, as you know, gives us a certain amount per year, which we invest mainly in the youth development program in the Americas. The youth development program in the Americas has been very successful, and we have had a large increase of athletes in those categories in the countries that profit from that program. We will see what the long-term future of this is, but GSD is very happy with the cooperation with us. Okay, then now I will give the floor to Jay McAninch, who is the chair of the Archery Trade Association. As I already said yesterday in my report, we're working more and more closely with the Archery Trade Association. I hope for the ones that have had yesterday the workshops, that has been useful, and for the ones that don't have it yet, we will see what happens after this session. And so, Jay, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President, Secretary General, and members. We appreciate the opportunity to join you in your Congress. We're honored to be here and excited about the opportunity to work with all of you for the betterment of archery. I want to first thank your Secretary General, Tom, and your staff for all the work you've done the last year or so in exploring all kinds of opportunities where the industry that is represented worldwide by our trade association can find ways to support what you folks do, not only through World Archery, but in each one of your countries. Let me start by today wanting to tell you what the Trade Association is. In talking to many of you, I think a lot of you aren't aware that all of the companies in the industry, virtually worldwide, are joined in a trade association. We operate as a not-for-profit, but we are a business trade association. Been around a long time and celebrated 62 years this last year. We don't have individual members. We don't have anything other than almost all companies as members. So a company joins, and whether they are large or small, they all have a vote and they all participate in the kinds of activities that we have. The predominant categories that you'd be familiar with are manufacturers of products that are sold in the archery industry or in the bow hunting industry. Both industries are combined, so there's a fairly wide range of products, whether it's equipment or apparel, anything that archers and bow hunters use to any degree all are part of our trade association. And when you get involved in manufacturing and retailing, we have other categories like distributors, we have sales representatives. They don't like that picture, but that's what I think of when I think of sales representatives, but they're in our industry too, and they do a great job for most of you, and that's how a lot of you reach products. We have media members, but we also have a category where we have nonprofits, nonprofits that operate in the archery world and the bow hunting world. USA Archery and some of the U.S. groups are members. National Field Archery Association is also here. They're a member. World Archery has been a member, and the Easton Foundations. These are ones I think you might be familiar with. We have a few others. I hope over the next few years that many of you will think to join so we can develop a relationship with you as well. This is basically how we're organized. We have been predominantly an American manufacturing association. That's not by design. It's simply because the vast majority of companies that exist in this industry are based in the United States. Our international membership has been growing. It's now about as high as it's been in many years, and we expect it to grow. We have many more new members joining every year. About 650 manufacturers are out there that manufacture product. In this particular category, it's rare that we find a company out there manufacturing to any degree that isn't a member. They are almost all members. In the retail sector, there are lots of independent retailers that may or may not join, depending on the degree to which that we can provide services for them. The larger the retailing companies, the more they all tend to be members. And the smaller ones, like I said, sometimes don't tend to be members. These are the percentage of our international membership we have by country, so you may find yourself on there. As you might expect, driven by a lot of the bow hunting interest in particular, Canada is our single largest country in terms of the number of additional members. And they participate in a lot of, especially the bow hunting activities that go on in the United States. The operation that we manage that is probably the focal point for all of the industry occurs the second week of January, and that's our Archery and Bow Hunting Trade Show. It's the largest trade show of its kind in the world. In fact, I'm not aware of another show that tries or even attempts to do what we do. We gather all the manufacturers and almost all the major retailers in the world under one roof in usually the United States. In fact, it's almost always been in the Midwestern part of the United States. Unfortunately, if you come, it's going to be cold, but that's the time and location when almost all of the industry wants to gather. The most important part of that gathering is for the industry to do business and to be able to transact business, and in return for the prices that we charge them and the fees that they pay, we net a significant amount of revenue that in turn on the right side of the picture we use to drive all the different programs that we work on year-round. The programs that we have built that we believe can be valuable for you and valuable for any federation and any group that's trying to grow archery all subscribe to the same vision. Our vision, quite frankly, is the same one you have. We'd like to see archery available to every person in every community worldwide, and we'd like to work to facilitate the provision of all the things it takes to be able to get into archery. The strategy that we have is no different than yours, except that where you, I'm sure, are very focused on the top of that picture, trying to put archers on the podium. I know that's what gives your federation strength. It gives it publicity and support. We are operating not to some extent at that level, and certainly not as much at the level of where you've got hundreds of target shooters. Our concern is helping you build the very bottom base of recreational archers that it takes, and when you've got, as we all know, when you have a very large pool of people shooting bows and arrows, there are going to be many more of them that are going to compete, get better, and you're going to end up probably in that situation with the best opportunity to put people on the podium. Our outreach program, as we call it, has been around for many years, and we have developed it, and we have sought many partners, but what we've done is not set up a grant program where we simply take applications and pass out checks. What we've tried to do is make sure that when we work with people, we work with them first as partners. And the number one thing we ask is that people must develop a plan. Very similar to what World Archery has done and what Secretary Dillon was talking about. The idea of having some kind of plan says that it gives us an idea of what your roadmap is, especially where you want to go and what are the outcomes you're trying to achieve. No matter what they are, if you have a plan, that means that we have something we can both agree to, you have some outcomes you want to achieve. In a lot of these situations with the plan in place, when we work with people and provide all kinds of things, sometimes we'll help hire staff and train so they can train instructors and coaches. In many cases, we've helped develop or create programs with the idea we're hoping that we could find ways to have you be able to sustain long-term membership efforts. We also provide very different kinds of initial or special project funding. In a broad sense, once you've got a strong federation, we try to foster as much industry support as we can in the way of sponsorships and equipment, the kinds of things that your shooters need. And then finally, in more recent years, this last couple of years, we've tried to find ways to help you do, a lot of cases, what you have difficulty doing, and that is engage in the social and digital world and try to capture and develop some of these potential archers. Over the last a little more than 10 years, we've invested $12.5 million U.S. in 44 of the U.S. states and in USA Archery. Our work over the last 3 to 5 years with Denise Parker and the USA Archery Group has been to try to figure out how we can best learn to help federations like yours. We use the states as an example. If you have any questions about what we did and how we did it, you could certainly talk to Denise because she came with a plan. She asked us to help with different kinds of things. We supported staff. We helped create programs. Together, we've worked simply to just try to make that plan have an impact on the kinds of things that they wanted to do. The other big project we did was create and manage this Archery 360 platform that you'll hear more about when you go to the workshops. That's been an extremely effective way to capture the people who are out there watching videos, who are doing all kinds of things on Twitter and Facebook, the kinds of things a lot of you I know don't do, but they do it, and that's how the world communicates, and we've worked to capture that audience for you. To you, as all Federation members, no matter what your size is, big or small, what we'd like to offer you is the following. We have an experienced and highly capable staff that have different skills in different areas. You come to the workshops, you're going to hear about them. Provided we can sit down and you'll share your plan with us, or if you don't have a plan, I know Secretary Dillon would like you to create one. We will work happily with you to try to see if we can create something. And if we can do that, then we'll help you create programs, we'll help you train instructors, we'll help you get equipment. In essence, we would like to help you get going to get to wherever it is you want to go in trying to achieve the idea of putting archery in your communities. 3 of the staff members that have come with me today and will be here for the remainder of the tournament, in fact. Jennifer Mazer, you can read her background. She's very talented. She comes from more of the education field. Has a lot of experience in archery and in bow hunting, and has done a number of things that are not only both creative, but also helping do the practical implementation to see that programs can be successful. Michelle Zoig is one of our other staff that has done a lot of the same kind of thing. Very creative, but I think Michelle's forte is helping with an on-the-ground implementation strategy to see if you can overcome the challenges that occur in all kinds of communities and all kinds of locations in trying to make things happen on the local level. Teresa Johnson has joined us just recently, been with us the last few years. She is actually a social and digital wizard, as I call it. She understands all of the social and digital platforms and what people do and how they do it, and she's been the mastermind behind the Archery 360 platform we have. And when you go to the workshop, you'll hear some of the astonishing numbers of people that have come onto that platform who have said that they're interested in archery, and all they're waiting for is an invitation and a chance to find you, your instructors, and equipment and get involved. So with that, I'll end. Please attend the workshops. We're here to help. We're not here to tell you what to do or how to do it. We're here to try to understand what you do, what your obstacles and problems are, and see if we can help solve them. Before I step away, I'd like to also acknowledge Greg Easton on your executive board from the Easton Companies. Greg is the vice chair of our trade association board, and I'm sure in conversation Greg can also give you some background and ideas on what we do and perhaps how we might be able to help. So we look forward to working with you all. Thank you for having us, and thank you, Secretary General, for the time.
Thank you very much for your excellent presentation. My friends, now we move on agenda item 20, group discussion, part 3. Again, floor is yours, Tom.
Thank you, President. Just one thing before we go to group discussions. is I wanted to have your approval on one thing. Yesterday we talked about implementation of the motions, and one thing that we didn't do is when they come into effect. Of course, it's the 1st of April for all of the ones we voted, except we have a request from the Para-Archery Committee, which makes sense that the one that we voted on in terms of the Para-Archery composition, the committee composition, that it will come into effect immediately, because we'll have the election of the para-athlete representative in Donauwegen next month. So it makes sense that this one comes into effect as such at the end of this Congress. Is there any opposition to that as such? Doesn't seem to be the case, so it's effective as such. Okay, now, if I got the right colors, and then it means that blue group, which was group number 1, is that correct? Yes, seems to be the case. We'll go to Lake Geneva. So we have Lake Geneva is on the 2nd floor, and we can have someone take people to Lake Geneva. Lake Geneva will be Chris Wells anyway, so follow Mr. Wells. So the blue group goes with Mr. Wells. Just one thing before you go. After lunch, you will switch sides. You will go to Loch Ness. So have good food to battle with the monster of Loch Ness. So after the group, you will go for lunch, and then you will go to Loch Ness. Okay, so if we can have blue group going now and following Mr. Wells. Then the second group, which was the red group, I hope they had good breakfast, because they will battle with the monster of Loch Ness now, and will get further information on the Archery Trade Association, of which we just had the presentation. So the red group will go to Loch Ness. Now I have the feeling that yes. Yes, we expect everyone back here after this last discussion by 2:35. 2:35 we have to be back in the room for the final session as such. So you'll have group discussion 3, then blue and red will switch on the 2nd floor, and yellow and green will switch here during the lunch break, and then we'll come back here at 2:35. In each case, your group discussion leaders will inform you as well. They have instructions to inform you. So normally we should only have yellow and green left. Is this the case? I think we have a lot of people for yellow and green here in the room. You must be very popular, the two yellow and green groups. So the yellow group, number 3 of yesterday, will go to Mr. Lars Peterson on the right side for you. So yellow will go to the right side for you. And green will go to the left side for you. And then you will have lunch, and then when you come back, you will switch sides. And lunch is scheduled around, and I really need glasses, 12:05. At 12:05, they're expecting you for lunch at the same place as yesterday. Okay? Enjoy the group discussions. Thank you.
So Tom, just so on timing. We go to 12:10. They leave. They go for lunch, and then they go to the other side of the room for the afternoon. And what time they are back here after lunch? Well, they have 1 hour lunch. 1 hour lunch. There's lunch. Yes, because 2:35 the Congress starts again. Get it.
Me supongo que porque el gobierno ha decidido que hay alguien responsable de
Yeah.
que hay una persona competente para pagar. Entonces dirán, pues alguien
At least, yeah.
que le
Very
dé
good.
contenido técnico, que no sea el del gobierno que hable con los atletas, pero no sé. Ahora, aquí en el Congreso no sé por qué